Alright, so we are completely ready to start creating our website. Here's the real fun begins. We have installed our awesome page builder Elementor. So we get here an overview of Elementor. So let's minimize this one. Now let's start creating our home page using our awesome page builder Elementor. So to start creating our home page, let's click on pages to all pages. And now here is our home page. So click on edit, and here you can see a new button as we have installed Elementor. Before that, you need to know Elementor is a free page builder and Elementor has also a pro version, but in this tutorial I will show you how you can create a really awesome website using the free Elementor page builder. So to create home page, let's create on edit with Elementor. This is the Elementor page builder. What you can see in the left, we can minimize this one to see the real website how it is looking, and we can click here to appear the Elementor page builder. It's super easy because we can now create our real website and make it live instantly. So we just need to drag the elements and other things from left and drop it into the right side. So in that way we will create our home page. So let's get started. I want to create a section underneath the header first. So to do that, let's click here. You can see a plus icon here. So let's click here to create a new section, add new section, and here you can select your structure the way you want the section would look like. So I want a single section, there would be no column in it. So I'm selecting this one. You can select 2-part column, 3-column structure, even you can choose 5-column structure. So for this section I'm selecting this one. Before that, I want you to understand the core 3 things of Elementor. If you can understand these 3 things, then you can make any kind of page, any section very easy and smoothly. So you need to understand the 3 parts. Number 1 is section, then column and elements. So what is a section? Right now we are creating a section, so this is basically a section, and inside a section you can take multiple columns, and within columns you can take multiple elements. So let's take a look. We already have taken a section, and inside this section we can create multiple columns. So how you can create columns? You can, if you hover over on the section, you can see an icon. So you can click here or you can right click here. Then you can see here couple options like edit column, duplicate, add new column, copy, reset style, navigator, or even you can delete the column. So if you want to add a column in a section, you can click on add new column. So now in this section we have 2 columns in it, and inside a single column, if you want, you can add any kind of Elementor element. So to do that, you can click on this plus icon. So here are several kind of elements, so you can add here only by dragging. So if you want to add a heading, you can drag this heading element from here and leave it inside this column in this way. Then you can edit the text from here or you can type in it here. So if you want to write Jim Fahad production, here you go. And then if you want to make it a heading 1, you can do that by clicking here. You can make it heading 1, so it looks bigger now. You can make it H5, that means heading 5. So it's comparatively smaller now. If you want to make it centered, you can click here to alignment. It's centered, so it's centered now. And each element has 3 different options like content. So you can change or edit the basic content. Like we have taken a title, so you can change the text. You can make it H1 to H6 from here. And even if you want, you can add a link here. You can adjust the alignment from here. If you want to change the base color or any other typography, you click on style tab, and from here you can change the text color. So from here, if you want to make it red, you can change the color to red, or you can make it green, or any other color, so you can pick anything. If you want to make it more bigger, if you want to make it a custom font size, you can click here, and from size you just drag it a little bit right, so it's bigger now. You drag it a little bit left, so it's smaller now. So you can make the way you want. And here is the advanced tab. If you click here, you will have more options, like if you want to add some breathing space at the top and bottom, you can add some padding here. Like if you want to have 10 pixel, so it has some breathing space on the top and the bottom. So I will walk you through on everything. So let's start creating the real section so you can understand how it works. And before making real sections, I want to create some global settings to make our life easier during website creation, because you see here is the text or heading. If we want to change this color, what we need to do, we need to click here or here, and then we need to go style, and from text color we need to click on the color picker. Then we have options. We can take color from here by clicking inside the color picker. I want my own colors, so that's why I want to create my own global settings, so I can preset these colors and fonts from my global settings. So let's do that. To make that global settings, let's click on the top hamburger icon here, and then you can see an option, default colors. I'm clicking here. Here you can see the default color palette of Elementor, and you have different options that provided by Elementor. Like if you want a different color palette, you can pick from here. Like here is a royal one, you can take this color palette or this one or the ocean one, but I want to create my own color palette. Like as a primary color, I want a gray color. To do that, I'm clicking on this primary one, and here I'm putting my color code here, that's hash 222. So 6 twos. This is the hex code of my color, and I also want to change the secondary text and accent color. If you want to use my colors, you can pause the video and take my colors. To save this color palette, click on apply. Then I also want to set default fonts, so let's click on default fonts. Here primary headline, click here, and family, I want to have primary headlines all in Poppin fonts, so I'm typing here Poppins. I'm searching for Poppins. It's a Google font, Poppins, and I want to have bold, wet. And for secondary headline, Poppins, and I want to have font weight 500, and then body text, I set open sans. Default weight is fine, and for accent text, I also want to set Poppins, and I'd like to have font weight 600 for accent text. Alright, and I'm clicking here apply. You can see it takes effect immediately because we have set primary headline as Poppins, and here you can see the headline, it's now Poppin font. Now let's start creating our first section. We already have taken a section here. For now, let's delete this one. To delete this, click here, right click, delete. It's gone, and now we will be taking a new section. So to take a new section, we need to click on this plus icon, and from here, as I want a full width section, I'm taking this structure, and I want to make it full width, not in boxed width. So to do that, I'm clicking here stretch section, I'm turning it on, so now it's a full width section. And content width boxed, I can take the option full width, but for this one I want to take boxed width, and inside that I want to take the first element, a heading. To take an element, I click on this icon, element icon. I'm clicking here, and here is all the available elements. So I want to take a heading, so I'm dragging the heading inside this section, and I want to change the text to Jim Fahad production, Now I can make the heading centered by clicking alignment centered, and I want to make it heading 1, so I'm clicking H1. Now we can do a lot with this heading. We can change the style of this heading, we can change the typography. We want to change some style first, so to do that I'm clicking here on style tab. From here, if I click on typography, I can change the font size. I want to make it really big, so to do that I'm dragging the size on the right. I want to make it really big, so I'm making it 70 or 75 pixel. You can drag it or you can type it directly from here, so 75 pixel. And then I want to add a background image, so to do that I want to add that background image on this section level. So I'm selecting on this section settings, I'm clicking here, and from the layout, then here is the style tab. I'm clicking here on the style tab, and you can see an option background type. So here is the classic one. I want to add a solid image, but if I want I can add gradient background, video background, or slideshow. So for now I want to add a classic image, so I'm clicking here on a classic, and if I want I can add a solid color by clicking here. If I want a red background, so I can do that in this way. And first, to make our sections height a little bit long, so to do that let's click on layout, and from here you'll see height. From here you will find the option minimum height, so I'm clicking here on minimum height. Now minimum height is 400. I can make it bigger or smaller. Let's keep it 400 for now, and then I can set the column position. It's by default middle, but I can make it bottom or top or straight on this way. I want to make the column position at the top, and I want to have some breathing space at the top. So how can I do that? Let's click on advanced tab, and from here I want to add some padding at the top. So to do that I need to add some padding on the top. If I type in this way like 30 pixel, the padding will be added around whole section, but I want the padding to be added only at the top. So to do that, let's undo it and unbind this one, as I only want the padding at the top. So I'm typing here 140 pixel. I want 140 pixel padding at the top, so it's looking like it now. And instead of a solid color, I want to add a background image here. So to do that, let's go back to style, and from here we have selected a color. Let's remove this one. To remove that, let's click here on clear, and now I want to add a background image. So here image, I'm clicking choose image and upload files, select files. I want to add this image, open it. Now click insert media. Here is the background image, but the background image is darker, so we can't see the text properly. We will fix that later, but for now let's fix the background image because we cannot also see the background image properly. So here's the position. By default it's top left, so it is looking like this right now. Let's make it center, but you can make it center left or center right or top right. I want to make it center. Then attachment, you can make it fixed, so the background will be fixed whenever you will scroll your website, but I want to make it scroll, or the default one is scroll actually. Then repeat, I don't want to repeat it, no repeat. And size, there are multiple options, like you can make it contain, you can make it custom, but I want to have it cover, so it will cover the whole width of this area. And now let's change the color of this text. To do that, let's click on the settings of this text or heading here, and from text color let's make it white. so we can see the text properly, but still the background image is kind of lighter, so we can't read the top title properly. So how we can fix that? Let's click on the section settings again, then go to style, and from here we can add a background overlay. So click on background overlay. From background type, I want to select the classic one and I want to add a overlay solid color. So I'm clicking here, I select the black color over it, and now here is the overlay opacity option. If I drag it full to the right, then we can't see anything of that background, but I don't want that, so let's keep it 0.5. And then here is blend mode option. There are several blend mode option, like you can set it screen or lighten or saturation, but I like the luminosity. Look, this is really looking awesome. Now I want to add a secondary heading or heading 2. So how can I do that? Let's click on the elements again, and from here drag the heading and just leave it underneath the heading 1 here. Now let's change the color of the text first. So to do that, click here and go to style, text color, change it to white. Then I want to make it alignment center, so go to content, alignment centered, it's H2, so it's fine. And I want to change the text, so I'm writing you deserve to be seen. Awesome. And I also want to add a divider in between these two heading. So how can I do that? Let's click on elements and search for divider. So here's the divider. I'm dragging it here in between these two heading. You may not see it properly because it's black, so let's change its settings. So click here and then go to styles. Let's change the color to white. From here let's change the color to white, and I want to reduce the gap in between, so I'm dragging it left. Let's keep it 3. Yeah, 3 is fine. And also I want to reduce the space in between these two headings. So how can I do that? Let's click on the heading 1 settings first and then go to advanced, and I only want to reduce the bottom margin of this heading. So to do that, let's unbind it first, and I only want to reduce the bottom margin. So from here I'm reducing it to -16 pixel. -16 pixel is fine. And I also want to reduce the top margin of the heading 2. So let's click on settings and go to advanced, and from here unbind it first, and top I'm reducing the margin to -15 or -16 is fine. So this area is looking fine to me. And then I want to add 2 buttons underneath this heading. So how can I do that? Let's go to elements, and from the elements I want to take an inner section first. So let's take the inner section, drag it and leave it underneath the heading areas here. And before that, this divider looks really white, so I want to fix that. I want to reduce the width of this divider. To do that, let's click here again, go to contents, width. I want to reduce the width of this, so let's make it really smaller, maybe 24 or 25 pixel, and alignment center. Then let's get back to the buttons I wanted to create. So I took the inner section. Here is 2 columns. In the first column I want to take a button. So to do that, I can click here on the plus icon, or I can click on the elements. Let's click on this plus icon and let's search for button. The button is already here, so just drag it and leave it inside this column. So here's the button, and here's the button contents. So type is the default type button, and text I want to change the text, so it should say check our services, and I want to link it to our services page. So services, and alignment, I want it to be aligned on right. Here is couple different option. You can make the button small, medium, large, or even extra large, but I'd like to have the small one. And we can add icons inside the button. Like if you click on the icon, you can select icons. You can pick an icon from here. Like if you pick this one and insert this one, you can see an icon inside your button. Even if you want this icon on the right, you can do that by clicking here icon position before, and if you click on after, this icon will appear after the text. Awesome. But for now I don't want this icon, so I'm clicking here on this delete icon. It's gone. And I want to have some radius around this button. So to do that, let's go on settings. From here you will find an option border radius. So I want to have like 15 or 18 pixel of radius around this button. This button looks really good now. And I also want to add a simple animation, like when you hover over on this button, I want an animation. So let's click on hover, and here is the hover animation. Let's click here and you will find several options. Like if you select pulse, and if you hover on the button, you see the pulse effect. If you click on bouncing, you will find the bouncing effect. I'd like to have the shrink effect, so when I hover over on it, the button will be shrinked a little bit. That looks really nice. And now I want to duplicate this button because I want to create a button on the right in this column as well. So to do that, I will copy this button. How can I copy this button? Let's right click here and click duplicate. So our button is duplicated and we don't need this one because this is empty. So right click here and click delete, and this is the new button we just have created. So make some changes. Click here. I want to make this one alignment on the left, so I'm clicking here left, and this button should say, instead of check our services, contact us now, because when people will click this button, they will redirect it to our contact us page. So I am also changing the link. The link should be contact us page. If I hover over, the animation is still same. That's great. But I don't wanna look that these two buttons same color, so I want to change this one's color. So to do that, let's click on the settings of this button, and from style here you can see normal, then text color, background color. I want to change the background color. I'm selecting here, then I want to create it 444 this color. Awesome. To save it, click on update. Now we have more options to play with these sections. To play with it, let's click on section settings here. Now let's go on styles, and from here you can see an option says shape divider. Let's click here and you will find top and bottom. From top, let's select the type triangle. You see a triangle shape at the top. If you want to change that color, from color you can change the color to red or black or white, anything you want. Also, not only top, you can do that as well on the bottom. So I'm deselecting this one, like I'm clearing this one, and I'm removing the shape divider to none. And if I go to bottom and type, I can have drop type. So you can see drop shape from the bottom. You can have tilt opacity, so it's looking like this. You can set it arrow, so you can see a little arrow here, or you can have tilt option. So you can see a tilt option here. You can reduce the height of it like this. If you drag this height to right, you can make the tilt more bigger, or drag it to the left, you can make it less height. Even you can flip it if you click on this flip, turn it on, so it reversed like that. But I will not use shape divider on it, so I'm selecting this none. I'm just showing you what is possible, what you can do using this amazing page builder Elementor. So now click update to save everything what we have done so far. And now let's have a look how it's looking in our main site. So refresh the page, our elementor.com. You see it looks really beautiful whatever we have made so far. Now let's create our next section. Let's go back to our dashboard here, and from here we want to create our new section. So click on this plus icon. In this time I want to take a 3-column section because I want to showcase my 3 major services. So I'm taking this structure. So here is 3 columns. So inside the first column I want to have an icon box. I'm searching for icon box. Here is the icon box. Let's drag it and leave it inside this column. So here you can see an icon and title and the description. So I can change everything. So if I want to change this icon, I can create on this icon library. So I'm clicking here. As blogging websites is one of my services, so I'm looking for something that relates on blogging. So I'm searching here blog. So this one is a blogging icon. I'm selecting this one, insert. Here is the blogging icon, and then I want to change this title. So from left I'm changing this to blogging websites, and then I want to change this text to my custom text here. Now I want to make this columns background black and this icon, this title and this text color white. So how I can do that? Let's go to style. Here's the icon color option. So I want to make icon primary color black to white. I can't see that because our background is white and our icon is still white, so we can see that now, but I will create the background black shortly. Then here is icon option and here is content option. So that means the title and the text option. So I'm clicking here on the content. I'm making the title color to white and also the description color to white. We cannot see anything because our background and our text color are all white. So let's make our columns background to black. So to do that, create on this column icon and go to style, select background type classic, and from color make it black. Alright, so right now we can see all clearly because right now our background is black and our icon, title and text, everything is white. We are sitting at column level now, so I want to add some left and right margin at the column. So how I can do that? Go to advanced, and from here margin I want to add some margin on the right and left. So unbind it first, and from right I want to add 15 pixel of right margin and 15 pixel of left margin. Also I want to add a little bit breathing space at the top and the bottom of this column. So I'm unbinding this padding, and on the top I want to set 10 pixel at the top and 10 pixel at the bottom, or 15 pixel would be nice. 15 pixel at the top and 15 pixel at the bottom. Alright, now I want to add a call to action button underneath this text. So click on elements. I'm searching for a button. Here is the button. I'm dragging it and leaving it here. I want to make it centered. I'm going content and alignment centered. It should say see details, and I want to link it to my blog services specific page. So that is blog websites, and I also want to add some border radius with it. So I'm going to styles, border radius, like previous 18 pixel border. I can even make it more bigger or smaller, like medium. This one is too big, extra small. This one is too small, so let's keep it small. Awesome, this one looks really nice. Now I want to duplicate this area a couple times, duplicate this column. So I'm right clicking here on the column icon, duplicate this one, and again duplicate. And I don't want this empty column, so I'm deleting this, delete, and delete this one as well, delete. Now what I want to do, I want to change the content of this. So I want to change the icon, title, and text for these two. Like my services are blog websites, business websites, and e-commerce website. So this one should be business website. So let's edit this one. To edit this, I'm clicking here on this icon, and here instead of blog websites, it should say business websites, and here is my specific text for business websites. Here is the text, and also this button, I want to link it to the business websites specific page. So instead of blog websites, it should be business websites page link. And I also want to change the icon, so I'm clicking on this one icon. I want to change that something relates to business, maybe a handshake. So I like this one. I'm selecting this, insert. Awesome. I also want to change the information for this. So let's change the title first. So I can write it eShop websites, and then the text to this, and the button link also should be changed. I'm editing here, not blog website, it should be e-commerce websites. So when people click on these C details, they will be redirected to my e-commerce website's specific single page. And of course I want to change this icon to something related to e-commerce. So let's find something, cart plus. This one is looking nice and relatable, insert. Awesome. And if you look closer, you can see there is no breathing space on the left and right. So I want to add that on each column. So to do that, I'm clicking here on the column, and from advanced setting, or I can click on the icon box and then advanced. So let's add some padding on the left and right. So unbind it first, right, maybe 5 pixel is fine, and left 5 pixel. Also for this one, advance, unbind it, 5 pixel left and 5 pixel on right. Also for this one, go advance, unbind it, 5 pixel on right, 5 pixel on left. And now I also want to add some motion effects, but not in icon boxes, on the columns. So let's click on this column icon and then advance to motion effects. Let's select, I'm looking for zoom in, so it will appear in this way. Let's do this with it as well. Advance, motion effects, search for zoom in, and also for this one, advanced, motion effects, search for zoom in. So this will appear in this way when the page is loading. This is really awesome. I want to make it more cooler. So to do that, I want to make an hover effect. So when user hover on this area, the color, the background color will be changed. So how can I do that? Let's click on this column and go to styles, and here you will find the option normal and hover. So we already have the normal settings, everything is okay, and let's click on hover. Now select background type. I want a solid background color, so here is the color option. I'm putting my color here, it's 0089FF. It's a bluish color, I like this color. So when you hover on this, the color will be this. This looks really cool. I also want to do that with the last column, so I'm selecting this one From styles, hover, background type, color, and I'm putting this color here. So if I hover over on the eShop websites, the background color changes. But for the middle one, I want to make it more cool. I want to make it normal color to bluish color, and when hover over on it, the color will become black. So let's click on this column to style and then normal color. I want to make the normal color to the bluish color. So this is the normal color, and hover color, I want to set the hover color to black. So this is the black color. Now look at this. When I hover over on a black area, it becomes bluish, and when I hover over on a bluish area, it becomes black. This looks really cool. I also want to change the position of this whole section. I want it to placed more on the top, like here. So to do that, let's click on section settings, this button here, and go to advanced tab, and I want to reduce the margin. So let's unbind this one, and top margin, let's make it maybe minus 100, or make it 150. Awesome. Let's update it to save and go to our live page and refresh to see how it is looking. Amazing. This area looks really amazing. It looks clean, modern, and flat at the same time. I like it. Now let's create our next section. Let's go back to our dashboard, and from here we want to create a new section. To do that, let's click on this plus icon, and for this section I want to select this structure, because in this section I want to talk about my team or myself a little bit. So I'm selecting this structure. So the left column is smaller than the right one, so I want to put an image here in the left, and I want to write something about us, a little bit about us on the right side, and I also want to put a call to action button, so when people click on that button, they will redirect it to our about us page. So let's put the image first on the left column. Let's click on this plus icon, and I'd like to have image, so I'm dragging the image inside this column here, and here you can see choose image option. For this element, I'm clicking here, choose image, upload files, select files, and I want to have this image. Open. It's uploaded. Now I'm clicking on insert media. So you see, here's the image I just have uploaded, but first thing I want to add some margin in between these sections. So to do that, I'm clicking on this section icon, and from here go to advanced, and then I want to add some top margin. So unbind it first, and top margin maybe 100. Yeah, 100 is good, it looks nice. And then I'm going back to this image. I'm clicking on this image. So this is the image element. You can make it more big or small. Here is several options, like you can make it medium large or medium or a thumbnail size. I would like to have it in large size, so that's that. And on the right side, first I want to add a subheader. So let's go to elements, and from here heading, let's drag this heading on our right column first, and I want to make it as a H6. So it's a heading 6, and let's change the text what we do, and then I want to add a header underneath this subheader. So let's click on elements again. I'm dragging another heading here underneath the subheading, and I want to change the text to this: we are here to increase your business with experience. Now I want to have some text here underneath the heading. So to do that, let's add another element here. So I'm clicking here on elements, and here is the text editor. I'm dragging it underneath the heading here, not there. I want to have it underneath the header at this place, and I want to change the text this, And here you see cost efficient solutions. I want to link this to our services page. So you can link any text to any other page you want. So how we can do that? Like cost efficient solutions, I'm selecting this, and here is the icon to link any text. I'm clicking on this icon and I'm putting our services pages link, https:// our elementor.com/services. Apply. Awesome. So when people will click on this text, they will be redirected to our services page. Now I also want to add a divider in between this header and this text. So let's go to elements and search for divider. Here is the divider. So I'm dragging it and I'm leaving it here. So you can see it black thin divider. Let's fix this. Let's reduce its width first. I want to make it really small, maybe 20 or 10. I want it to align on the left. Let's go to style. I want to change the color at the same color our buttons are. So I'm clicking here. I'm making our button colors here. So that's the same color. And I also want to change the width and gap. Let's see. Width 4. Yeah, 4 is good. And let's make the gap 2 because I don't want that much space. Alright, this is looking awesome. And right now I want to add a call to action button here. So to do that, I'm going to elements and I'm dragging a button here. So it's a call to action button for about us page. So it should say see about us, and I want to link it to our about us page, about us, and rest other thing is fine. Size is small is fine. If we minimize the Elementor here, we can see it like this, and if we open it, this is looking like this. And you see this button is looking different than other buttons. So I also want to add radius on it. So I'm clicking here and radius. Let's go on styles, and from here border radius like other 18 pixel. So this is identical to other call to action buttons. And I want to show you another interesting thing. You can change these two columns width by only dragging. So if you want to increase the width of left column, you can do that only by dragging like this. And if you want to reduce that, you can do it like this. This is really freaking awesome. So you can adjust the width the way you want. I would like to have it like this or this. Yeah, it looks good to me. But I think we can do a little more things to make it more good. Like if you see, this area seems to have no breathing space around it. So let's click on this column. We can add some padding here, left, right, and top. The bottom is fine. So how you can do that? Let's click on this column, go to advanced, and let's give it some padding. So we can give padding using pixel. So if we give like 10 pixel, it will be 10 pixel identically, or we can give it with percentage. So you can see here px for pixel, then em, and also here is percentage. So we can give it by percentage. So I'm clicking on percentage, and now unbind this. I want to give top 5% padding on the right, 5% padding, bottom is fine. I want to have 10% padding on the left. Right now this area looks clean, and I now want to adjust the column width by dragging like this way or this. Alright, now update it, and let's have a look on the live site. So refresh the page. Awesome, this is looking so professional right now. Okay, let's now create our next section. Let's go back to our dashboard, and from here we want to create a new section. So let's click on this plus icon. I want this area to be full width, so I'm selecting this structure and then stretch section. I'm selecting this one, and content with boxed is fine. So inside this, first I want to add a subheader and a header like this. So first let's drag a heading here first in this place, and I want to make it H6. In this area, I want to showcase some of my testimonials, what my clients gave to me. So this should say testimonials. And then I want to add another heading underneath the subheading. And this should say what our clients say about us. And I don't want to look this heading on this way, so I want it to look something narrower on the left. So I want to add some margin on the right. So I'm clicking here and go on Advanced tab. I want to add some right margin on percentage. So I'm clicking here on percent, unbind this one and right maybe 70%. Yeah, 70% is fine. And I want to add some margin top at this section. So I'm clicking here at the section settings, going Advanced tab, and I want to add some margin at the top in pixel. Unbind this. I want only top margin. Let's say 80 pixel. Yeah, 80 pixel is fine. Then underneath this heading, I want to add a divider like this one. So what can I do? I can copy this and I can drag this to here. Like this way, if I want to copy this element, I can right click here, duplicate, so it's duplicated, and I can drag it to here. I grab this, I'm dragging this, and I'm leaving it here. How awesome it is! Then I want to put some real testimonials, what my clients gave to me. To do that, I want to take inner section from our elements. So here is inner sections. I'm dragging it here underneath the divider, and I want to put my client's testimonial here. So here you can see two columns. In the first column, I want to add my client's testimonial. So I'm clicking on this plus icon and I am dragging a text editor here inside this column like this. Here I want to show my client's real testimonial, what they said about me, and their headshot, their name and their company name. So I'm putting their real testimonial here. And now I want to upload that client's headshot here. So I can do it from here, add media. I'm clicking here on add media, upload files, select files, and here I made a folder clients. From here I'm selecting this image. This is one of my clients. Open it, insert into post. I want to make the image width 150 by 150. So I'm clicking here. Here you can see an edit icon. I'm clicking here. It's already 150 by 150. So I want to give it a custom size, maybe 80 by 80. Update. And I want it to be aligned on the left. And I want to put his name right after his image. So I'm putting his name, Alex Costana is his name, and I want to make it bold. So how can I do that? I'm selecting this, and here is the bold icon. I'm making it bold, and then I want to talk about his role. He's founder of ECB. Alright, maybe I can make another space here like that, and I don't need the line break in between them. I can make it like this. This looks nice, and at the column level I want to add some style. So I'm clicking on this column here and I'm going to style, because I want to add some border radius and box shadow with it. So I'm clicking here on border. Here's the border radius and here's the box shadow option. So let's give some box shadow first. So I'm clicking here on this icon, and color, it's black and opacity is 0.5. That's good. And let's make the horizontal to -2, and vertical we can make it like, it's too much, let's make it 6. And blur, let's play with it, it's too much, let's make it 17. It's fine. And it's spread, maybe -6 is fine. position is outline, that's okay. And now I want to add a border radius that's only on this left bottom corner. So how I can do that? Let's unbind this on border radius here. So I only want to add border radius at the left. So on left I want to add border radius like 60 pixel or more. Let's make it 80 pixel. Yeah, this looks nice, but I think we need some breathing space inside of it. So let's go on Advanced tab and give it some padding. We can give 5 pixel padding around this whole column, but instead of pixel, let's make it percent and give it 5% of padding. It looks really clean now, and I also want to have some margin out of it. I only want to give some margin on the right. So unbind it and maybe 10 pixel or 20 pixel. Yeah, that's okay, that's fine. I want to show more testimonials of my other clients. So let's duplicate this one. Right click here, duplicate, and I don't need this empty one. So I'm right clicking here, delete this one. So here's the 2 testimonials. And if you notice, our upper section has white background and this section has same white background, so it looks kind of boring. So I want to change the background of this section. So to do that, I'm selecting on this section, I'm clicking here, and I want to give it some background. I'm going on style, then background type, background image, upload files, select files, and then Elementor folder. I'm selecting this one. This is a globe background and I'm opening it. Insert media. You can see it properly now. So I also want to add a solid color here. So this is my color, F1, F5, F8. And if you notice, the background color also affects this because these columns are transparent. So we need to put background color on these columns as well. So I'm clicking on this column, style, background type, background color, white. I want to make it white. Also for this one, style, background type, background color, white. Awesome. It looks nice now. And I also want to add some top and bottom margin of this. So I'm clicking here, then go to style, advanced, and here margin. Let's give it top and bottom 15 pixel of margin. It looks nice. And let's duplicate this one because I want to show more testimonials of my other clients. So right click here, duplicate. Awesome. Also, I want to add some padding at the top of this section and the bottom of this section. To do that, let's select on this section settings here, go to advanced, and from padding I want to add some top and bottom padding. So I'm unbinding it, top maybe 50 pixel or 60 pixel and bottom 60 pixel. All right. This area looks great. Now let's change the texts and other clients' headshots. So to change it, I'm clicking here because I want to change this text. I want to put other clients' testimonial and their headshot, their name and their company name. So I'm replacing this with their testimonial. Also, I want to replace the headshot with my other client headshot. So I'm clicking here on edit, replace, upload files, select files, clients. It's Danielle Dino. So here is her headshot, not this one, this one. Open, replace it, and I also wanna resize it and make it left. So I'm clicking here to align it left, and this edit icon to resize it 150 by 50 to 80 pixel. Update. Awesome. I'm also doing the same with the rest of these two. I'm fast forwarding this video because you know how to do it already. Alright, I have updated other testimonials of my other clients, and right now it's looking like this. Now let's update it to save, and let's go to our real website and refresh this one. Awesome. This looks really professional. Let's now create our next section. So let's get back to our dashboard. Now I want to show the companies I work for or my team work for. So I want to create a section for that. Let's create that section. I'm clicking here this plus icon, and I also want this section to be full width. So I'm taking this structure here, and I also want to stretch this section. So I'm clicking here. Yes, content width boxed is fine, and I want to have a header first, and then I want a divider like this. So let's put a header first here. So I'm dragging a heading here, and I want to change the text to companies we work for. I want to make it centered, and also I want to have some padding at the top. So I'm clicking here at the section settings here and advanced tab. I only want padding at the top. So top, let's unbind this one, and top I want to have like 60 pixel of padding. And now I want a divider like this one. So I'm copying this one, or I can copy and drag that like before. So I'm copying this one, duplicate, and now let's drag this one. It's here now. I'm dragging it again and putting it right there. But I want it to be centered. So from style or content, let's make it alignment to center. And now I want to have the company logos here within a carousel. So let's find a carousel in elements. So I'm looking for a carousel. So here is the image carousel option. I'm dragging this one here underneath the divider. Oops, here underneath the divider. So here you can see the option. Here you can upload all the images you want to show on that carousel. So I'm clicking here, upload files, select files, then Elementor. Here I create a folder, says companies. So I'm selecting all this image at a time and then open. Now click create a new gallery. So here is the carousel. I can drag it to the right or left. I can order or reorder the logos. So now insert gallery. Now here's the settings we can make. Here's the image size. Let's make it full. I want to show 4 images here at a time. So slide to show number 4. So 4 images, 4 logos will appear here at a time. And then slides to scroll. Default is fine. Image stretch, no. Navigation, here arrows, and you can see the navigation dots. I don't want these dots. I only want these arrows. So I can select only arrows from here. Link none, caption none. So these are fine. Let's click on update. And let's have a look how it's looking on our live site. Let's refresh our page, our elementor.com homepage. From here, down there. Awesome. This page is really looking so cool. But I think we can add some animations with it, like in this image or with these testimonials, we can add a little bit animation. So let's do that. Let's go back to our dashboard. So I want to add some animation on this image and on these testimonials. So let's first add some animation on this image. So let's click here on this column, and from advanced, let's click on motion effects. Here is the animation type. Let's play with it. If we select fading up, it will appear this way, or if we select zoom in, it will appear on this way. There are tons of options like sliding down. Awesome. But I'm looking for rotate in, upright, this one, So this animation looks really cool. So let's keep this one, and if you want you can add animation delay. So if I add 1000 ms millisecond, that means 1 second, so this image will appear after 1 second delay. If you want you can add that, but I don't need that for this one. Then let's add some animation with these testimonials. I'm selecting this column here, and let's go to Advanced tab and click Motion Effects. Click on Entrance Animations. I'd like to have bounce in right animation for this one, so it will appear on this way, and I want the duration to be fast, so I'm selecting fast, and an animation delay 500 would be nice. So I could add like 800 or 1000 ms delay on the right one, so overall that would create a really nice animation together. So let's do it. I'm clicking on the right one column, Advanced, Motion Effects, Entrance Animation, bounce in right. I also want it fast. It was 500 millisecond, but I want it 800 milliseconds, so 800. Awesome. I also want to do the same thing with these two, so let's do it. Select on column, Advanced, Motion Effects, bounce in right, fast, 500 for this one, and let's click on this column, Advanced, Motion Effects, bounce in right, fast, 800. Let's update this one and go to our live site and refresh so we can see how the animation looks. Awesome. You see? Cool. I really like it. So we have almost completed our homepage. The only thing I want to add into our homepage is recent blog posts, but we don't have created any blog post yet, so we will add that later. Let's now create other pages.